Hi everyone, I'm Catherine Martin, founder of Quiet Time Ministries. And every day I have the privilege of meeting alone with the one who actually created me, who made the world. His name is Jesus, and he is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And this is my quiet time. Do you find yourself in a season of life where maybe you feel disappointed? Maybe the things you really wanted to happen didn't happen? Or maybe you are wondering how you are going to make it financially, emotionally, spiritually. Your resources don't seem to match your responsibilities. And you are maybe feeling disappointed about that. You want to have faith. In fact, you are mostly known for strong faith, but deep within, you're wrestling. Well, friend, if you're feeling any of these things, I want to encourage you, first of all, that you are not alone. I believe every Christian has felt these things, and I certainly have. But beyond that, you need to know that the Lord has encouragement for you. In my quiet time, the Lord answered some wrestling in my own heart with some powerful words from His Word. And He used one of my favorite devotionals to encourage me. I opened my devotional, Voices from the Past. It's one of my favorites, filled with Puritan devotional readings. And this is what it actually looks like, Voices from the Past. And I love using this in my quiet time. And so it is Puritan devotional readings, and it's just got amazingly biblically based reading from day to day. And so I opened it the other morning, and guess what verse was the key one for the day? One of the most significant verses for me in my life, Proverbs 3, verse 5. There it was in big, bold letters for me, and I want to read it today for you. It says this: "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding." And I just want to say that again, because these are words for you and for me today. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. I've been reading that verse again and again over the last 5 years, and no matter how many times I hear those words, they are new for me in the heat of trials and torments and turbulence and tribulation. I think the thing that stood out to me was the part about not leaning on my own understanding. What God was really saying to me is that, Catherine, sometimes you aren't going to understand. That's a fact. Not understanding, for me, is an uncomfortable thing, especially if you're a thinker, a reasoner. But there it is in plain letters. Don't lean on your own understanding. So I think that a big thing for me to realize was that I don't enjoy not understanding. It's almost as though not understanding is like leaving the dock and venturing out on the vast ocean of God. And it's true, the great need in any disappointment is to trust in the Lord. He knows what He's about, and He is not worried about your circumstance, however desperate it may be. God doesn't get anxious or worried. That's why a great secret to growing your own trust is to get to know your God. Psalm 9 verse 10 says that those who know their God will trust in Him. Well, then I read from my devotional, Voices from the Past. God teaches the necessity of a life of faith, listen to this, through our disappointments. Oh, the bitter disappointment without faith to provide support. Faith is never disappointed. God is always better than our expectation. He only lives an unchangeable life who by faith can trust in an unchangeable God. We have lived too long trusting in a life of feelings and reason. And to patch up a life between faith and feelings is not a life of faith at all. If we do not live all by faith, we do not live at all by faith. Now, I want to say that again. If we do not live all by faith, we do not live at all by faith. That is so good, especially for me, because faith is my word for the year, and I am learning so much about faith. And then it goes on to say this: by this mutability and disappointment of the earthly, God teaches His people the excellence of a life of faith. Only trust in God is able to make men happy. Can anything be too hard for a creating God? And as He can, so He will. Men may prove unfaithful, but God will never prove unfaithful. I love those words, and I've been thinking so much about them since I read them in my quiet time. I especially love the part that teaches how disappointment in the earthly teaches us the excellence of a life of faith. I also was challenged to examine where my dependence is, on God and His Word, or my own feelings, emotions, circumstances. I think the Lord wants a people who trust wholeheartedly in Him, grab His promises in His Word, and walk by faith in all that He says, not in all that we see or feel. So, be encouraged today, dear friend. No matter what you are facing, you can let go of the dock of your own understanding and launch out on the vast ocean of trust in God. No matter where you are disappointed, God is more than enough to match it with Himself. So trust, total reliance under stress and trial. And then watch to see what He will do. Thank you, Lord, so much for giving me the challenge to trust even when I don't understand, and to realize that through my disappointments, You are teaching me to walk by faith. And that's my quiet time for this week. God bless you as you continue on in the great adventure of knowing Him.